Hi guys, it's Gianpaolo Lorusso speaking for a new edition of the Top 10 PPC News-Parade of the third week of February 2026. What we are talking about today. Google Ads, AI mode lens in Europe, but not only. And click-through rates of ads are rising. Why you should invest in your technical training, even with AI dominance. Lookalikes as demand gen signals, performance max and AiMax placements more revealed, more detailed, attributed branded searches, brand smart bidding, watch tweet, performance max hitting the mark when it does and when it breaks everything, budget planning and allocation, scheduling, ad scheduling and allocation planner in Meridian marketing mix modeling, TikTok entering AASA and new ad formats, LinkedIn ads new benchmarks, and Microsoft a little suggestion. Let's start with three contents before switching to the top 10. The first one is by Ginny Marvin. She has Google has released the AdWorld podcast episode 2, and she's talking about very interesting, a couple of very interesting concepts. The second extra post is by Ashley Fletcher from Antenna on LinkedIn.com, and he has put some examples of ads in ChatGPT. So yeah, you can say you can have a look. The third is by Neva Hopkins, who is explaining that you just have to have location extension, and you will have a placement in Microsoft Map. But the news number 10 to start with the top 10 is is by Daria Kalinina, who is highlighting the fact that now in LinkedIn ads is possible to have an industry average benchmark and even a benchmark with other campaigns from our own account. So it's nice to highlight performance differences. News number 9. 2 posts on TikTok. The first one is the fact that TikTok has joined the European Advertising Standard Alliance, in my opinion, to trying to avoid a European ban. This is a step in this direction. We'll see if the European Commission, if for the European Commission that's enough. I don't think so. And new ad types are added to for streaming and title launched. I don't exactly know what title launch mean, but new title launch. But we will see. News number 8. Again on Social Media Today by Andrew Hutchinson. Again, Meridian now offers a planning tool in the marketing media mix modeling of the open source one by Google is now possible to plan performances not only of the Google channels but of all our marketing channels, and that's very, very interesting if it works. News number 7. Adrian Decker on LinkedIn.com is explaining that Google has updated the algorithm for budget pacing when you have ad scheduling enabled. Before the ad scheduling limited the daily spend, and we know how Google is sensible on the fact that we can spend everything we have in our budget, and so they have modified it to consider the scheduling. In this way, you will see more spending when the ads are on, and of course no spend when they are off. But the budget will be parametered to all the time and reallocated in the when the ads are on. News number 6. SMAC has reported the registration of a sort of interview of Mike Ryan with Jeannie Marvin. They are talking about the AiMax and the future of search campaigns. It's a sort of clarification on some basic concepts on AiMax. The first one is the fact that it's a sort of dynamic search ads, but more similar to Performance Max than the dynamic search ads. And the fact that it's, of course, the future of search in Google. And another interesting post on the same topic is by Natalia Lopez on LinkedIn.com, and she is explaining that a Google product specialist has confirmed that matching types are still working even in AiMax. So if you want to have more granular details on which is working, you can also have the exact match and even phrase match in your AiMax, and that will give you a more precise partition on what is working and what is giving the most, the many conversions. News number 5. Two case stories, one by Jordan Fry on LinkedIn.com, and he has proved in one of his campaigns that Performance Max for lead generation is working, but you have to add a lot of data, and in specific, a search campaign running and quite well optimized already. In this case, Performance Max are really helping and incremental. The second case study is by Brian O'Neill on LinkedIn.com, and is confirming what we already have learned about brand protection campaigns using Smart Bid. Really, Smart Bid is really needed, and more often than never, they are inflating CPCs. If smart bidding is not always suggested, it should be an exception in brand protection campaigns because it tends to inflate the costs. News number 4. 3 posts on 3 different updates in the Google Display Network. The first one is by Bia Camargo on LinkedIn.com, and she's confirming and further explaining the new metric launched by Google recently, attributed branded search, which is the impact, which reports the impact of display ads on the search, embedded search in Google. And it's an interesting metric, new metric. Thomas Excel on LinkedIn is reporting that now the report where ads were shown is working also for Performance Max and sharing some interesting data, showing some interesting data on where exactly those placements are given. The third post on Display Network is by Dario Zanoni, who's reporting the alert by Google itself, who is advising advertisers on the fact that starting from March, lookalike audiences will be signals for demand gen campaigns. And that's logic if you think about it, because of course lookalike are not rigid in their audience targeting, so it just makes sense to have them just as signals, not rigidly set the targeting on our campaigns, even in demand gen. The news number 3, the podium, is two posts actually, one by John Loomer, published on johnloomer.com, and is explaining some recent updates. The first one is the Manus AI release in Ad Manager. Is explaining how it works and what you can do with it. It's highlighting something that came from last week, from a last week post, in which he said that targeting options have been moved to signals by Meta, but this is not true for exclusions, which are rigidly targeting campaigns, and some other less important updates. The second important post on Meta is by Peter Quadrell on LinkedIn.com, and is recalling us the importance of the net new reach, which is the ratio of new users reached by campaigns. And he's right when he says that if this ratio is low, your campaign are going to have problems unless they are not pure remarketing campaigns. The news number 2 of this week is by Kirk Williams on zatomarketing.com, and he is explaining why pushing on his own technical preparation, technical skills is going to pay off us, because he says that we will probably have a return wave from companies which have switched to AI, because AI alone is not as reliable as maybe a junior resource internal controlling a specialized PPC professional with strong technical skills. And he says that probably the only figures which, the only resources which will face some problems are the senior in-house professionals, because of course they can be easily changed with an external feature and AI, an external company and AI, and they will cost less, of course. But the news number 1 of this week is news by Barry Schwartz on search engine roundtable.com, seroundtable.com, and he signals that AI mode is coming to 53 new languages, among which all the European ones. And this is not this should not be worrying for us PPC professional, because there's another study, very interesting, by Aleida Solis on aleidasolis.com, and he's analyzed the similar web data for very frequent verticals in consumer brands. And she has found that Google is already already sharing, moving clicks towards ads. So it's not surprising, in my opinion, the fact that Google doesn't want to hurt click-through rates in ads, even with the AI mode, even before AI mode arrives directly on the market. So it's probably working for SEO approach, but ads will the golden eggs of Google will probably not be affected that much by the AI mode release. That's all for this edition. If you like this PPC News-Parade, please like it, share, comment as you wish, and everywhere. And may the ROI be with you. Ciao!